people see this stuff for what it is. It's a political witch hunt. It's a continuation.
More independent voters watch Fox News than any other TV source.
A lot less than used to watch it.
They do watch. Those voters
They
usually make up all the difference in the election. And so to the female independent voter in the suburbs who struggled with family financing because of inflation, she's now against Biden, disapproves of Biden, but wasn't with you in 2020 and so far is a hard no for you in 2024. But what do you say to that?
You're not looking at the right polls.
That's Donald Trump ripping into Bret Baier on Fox News for apparently falling in line with the establishment media narrative. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish. And liberal news outlets are salivating because it looks like Trump and Fox News have rekindled their love-hate relationship. The former president made a scathing post on Truth Social that you can no longer trust the network for their biased reporting. And the recent trigger seems to be due to some negative polls that look like outliers in a segment they did with Paul Ryan.
And I do think character is a really important issue. If you put yourself above the Constitution, as he has done.
But what happened?
I think that makes you unfit for office.
Was it the whole January 6th thing?
That's a part of it. I think it's a contribution of factors, but I think it really is just character at the end of the day. And the fact that if you're willing to put yourself above the Constitution, an oath you swear when you take office, in federal office, whether it's president or a member of Congress, you swear an oath to the Constitution. And if you're willing to suborn it to yourself, I think that makes you unfit for office.
Does it? Okay.
I do support getting out of the primaries legislators who are going to Washington, going to Congress to legislate, to join a team to advance conservative
principles.
principles.
Well, that's what Donald Trump says when he primaries Republicans. So do you support that?
He's cost us a lot of seats. I could probably spend some time and come up with the numbers. He cost us the Senate twice. He cost us the House because he is nominating. He is pushing through the primaries people who cannot win general elections but who pledged fealty to him. That's not a good way to build and grow a party. Ever since 2016,
but what's the difference
we've been losing,
between that and what Kevin McCarthy's
The point I'm trying to make, let me finish that point. Sure. We need legislators, not entertainers. And what Kevin, I assume, is doing here is making sure that we get legislators in these seats because the people who voted to oust him, he didn't deserve it. There was no reason to. They did it for fame. They did it to become famous. They're nihilists that are not there to legislate, that they're to entertain. So the more we can replace an entertainer with a legislator who wants to actually get things done, the healthier Congress as an institution is going to be, the stronger the Republican majority will be.
You've got to love a milquetoast conservative who's preserved nothing, talking about how ineffective Donald Trump has been. You know, for better or worse, I think the party would rather die on its feet now than live on its knees and push liberalism from 10 years ago disguised as conservatism. Here's Trump basically saying that he's done with Fox News and this type of reporting.
What do you say to that voter who's worried that that all leads to a general election loss?
So based on the polls, I'm leading Biden by a lot. Based on the polls, I'm leading all of the Republicans by a lot, by 40 points and more. And one thing happens, I find, with me that I think didn't happen so much with other presidents. Call it glamorous time, call it whatever. But with me, the Times, the Washington Post, various people, even Fox, because, you know, I'm no great fan of Fox anymore. They fought me very hard. Well, you got to get your word out somehow, right? They fought me very hard in 2016, very much the way they're fighting me now. Very, very hard. And I won. Then they became very nice.
Now, it's no secret that Fox has been in decline for the past few years. The network's run by Murdoch's kids now. They notoriously called Arizona in the last election, canned Tucker, cut away from Trump's speeches about election integrity, and routinely chastise him for language. Here he is explaining what a joke is to Bret Baier, who's essentially suggesting that he's a racist.
It points back to you praising her, and now she says that you're using a nickname based on her given name, Nimrata. You called her Nimbra in a post the other day. Why do you do that?
Well, I do that with a lot of people, like Hutchinson. I mean, he was polling at 0 for about 1 year, and I called him, rather than Asa, I called him Ada Hutchinson, and it just felt good to me. And with her, it's just something that came. It's a little bit of a takeoff on her name, you know, her name, wherever she may come from. But it's just
what do you mean by that? What do you mean?
It's a little bit of a takeoff. I look at her name. I look at a lot of people. You know, I do a lot of names for people, like Pocahontas. She said, my mother said I look like an Indian, so I started calling her Pocahontas. Some people say I'm very good at that, but I can't get into too many because many of those people that I named like that are Republicans, and we don't want to bring that up. But no, it's just it's a takeoff. I have fun with it. And sometimes, to tell you the truth, it's a very effective tool.
Call me crazy, but that feels a bit like it could have been on CNN. And I've got to agree with Trump here a little bit. You know, I don't think the whole network's bad, and there are still a few good people on it, but they're certainly in a spiral. They obviously don't want to suffer a fate like Twitter, which has had trouble getting mainstream advertisers because it's branded too far right, but being strictly motivated by profit like that turns Fox into some sort of controlled opposition or containment for conservatives. It'll basically be a ball pit where the audience has the illusion of freedom without all the danger of expressing ideas that are too outside of the mainstream. But let me know what you think. How do you feel about Fox News? Is Trump overreacting, or is the network becoming more liberal in their reporting? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!